Nothing. Did you say I can start? Oh, okay. All right. Okay. But I'm a wrong gang 3. Okay, thank you. All right. Welcome to another episode of Real Talk with Claudia. As you know, here we talk about all things self-development, wellness, mindfulness, community values, mental health, and what other time to talk about wellness in the creative space. But before I go any further, I would like to thank you for tuning in again in this episode. We truly appreciate your feedback, for sharing this podcast. It makes a huge contribution and it assures us that we are making the desired impact with this podcast. So before I go any further, I would like to introduce today's guest, Temnotfo Mvubu. Hippo. Temnotfo Hippo. Yes, she is a prominent media practitioner and digital marketing strategist in Eswatini. And let me tell you what, her journey started with just blogging stories about creatives in their 20s. I'm talking about podcasters, musicians, and that is how her journey started. And today we'll learn more about digital marketing and social media management, I guess. So Temnotfo, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And for sharing your expertise today with us. You know, people who tune in this podcast are people who care about self-development, about their community, about how they can be better individuals as well. So I'm confident that there's a lot to learn today from you. You've done quite a lot when it comes to the creative scene in Eswatini. Truly excited. I've been seeing your movement on LinkedIn, on Instagram. You've been doing a lot.
I'm literally everywhere these days.
You are. So would you like just to start off by sharing with us who is Temnotfo?
Okay. It's such an easy question to answer, but it's also kind of hard until someone actually asks you the question. Temnotfo is a creative at heart, just a creative girly. I've been creating ever since I was little. But now Temnotfo is a media practitioner, mostly in the digital space. I also do a bit of content creation on the side. I'm also a voice actor. I'm a writer. I'm a lover of life and personal development, which is why I am so grateful to be on your podcast. I also am very passionate about how to be a better person.
Oh, love that. What an amazing intro. And you're well suited for this podcast. We really love people like you and we care about all of the things that you've already mentioned. So you mind sharing a little bit more about you blogging about creatives in their 20s? How do you find yourself doing that? And what exactly did that journey entail for you?
So initially I wanted to go into poetry. And then I don't know, it never took off. I did a few poetry things here and there, a few gigs here and there. But then I realized I wanted to write it and document it. And I tried it out on my WordPress at the time. Blogging used to be a thing. Before there were vlogs, there was blogs. So people would set up these digital diaries and just write about all sorts of things. So at the time I was in my early 20s and I was just going through early 20s goal, I guess, but also trying to figure out who I am, what I want to do. I was really just interested in the music industry, the entertainment space. And then I was like, you know what, let me write stories because I love stories. I love knowing why someone is who they are, how they got to where they are, and what better canvas than Eswatini. So I just started texting people randomly. My first guest was actually Velefini Mgomezulu. He had the first podcast in Eswatini called Word Is. And I texted him and I was like, yo, so I want to be a journalist, like on my own, because, you know, I'm going to start blogging about people. And we called it Faces. And he was like, yeah, sure, let's go. So after that, it was him and then someone else and then someone else. And then it just became this digital documentation of 20-something people doing amazing things in Eswatini.
All right. Okay, That's interesting. Did you study marketing?
No. That is the crazy thing. I started studying it now, but I actually did architecture. I'm supposed to be designing people's houses.
What a spin-off things. And you mentioning that, what do you think about how, because I feel like I've been, our last guest in this podcast studied social sciences, and then they're all up in events and now promoting local products.
Yeah.
And then I studied agricultural economics, and
Really?
I'm on freelancing and doing something entirely different. And here you are, should be designing and drawing, and then here you are. Like, what do you think about that? And what can you say to a young person watching this podcast as well about how you study one thing and you're doing the next thing? Is that okay? Would you encourage them to stick to what they studied or follow their passion?
It's a very nice question, and it's actually crazy. I didn't know that about you, that you're not in the field you studied. And I think everything just boils down to the landscape in Eswatini. I was recently listening in on a webinar by Leadership Growth Forum, where they were looking at this national skills report. And from the report, it picked up that a lot of people who are working the jobs they work didn't study that.
Wow.
And it's mostly because of the high unemployment rates in the country and all of that, which is how I jumped into marketing. I was job hunting in architecture, didn't find anything, and then decided to just get a different job. And then that job opened opportunities for what I'm doing right now. So I think to a young person who maybe is facing that dilemma of what's happening within the local context is find an opportunity. If the door won't open, find a window. Like, something, anything. Yeah. But if you are passionate about it, if it's meant to be in your life, it will happen. Like I always tell people, maybe I'll go back to design at some point, but for now I'm very comfortable here in storytelling and marketing. So yeah.
I love that. And then you mentioned that you're currently learning now things related to digital marketing. How do you go about teaching yourself? And do you think the creative flair is something that is embedded in who you are, in your soul, and it's just picking up a little bit on now learning the rules of the game?
I love learning. Maybe that's just a default setting for me. Most of the things I know in my life, I'm self-taught. I remember back in school, I had a lot of guy friends, like not a lot of girlfriends back then. I have a lot of female friends now, but back then, me and the cheetahs were one. So
why the cheetahs?
I don't know. I've never
you gravitate towards them, or they gravitate towards you?
No, I gravitate towards them. Like, there's just something about male friendships. They're very chilled and like, they're not hard to break into.
Okay.
But as I've gotten older, I have found it easier to engage with women as well. So I don't want that narrative of Kutsi female friendships are hard.
Okay.
Just that when I was younger, it was easier.
Yep.
So with that, where was I? What were we speaking about again? I'm so sorry.
I asked you about self-teaching.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the cheetah story.
Yeah.
So I had all of these guy friends, and back where I grew up, cricket was a thing, but girls didn't play cricket. So every day, whenever there was like a test series on SABC where there was cricket games, I would sit in front of that TV and I would teach myself that game until I finally learned it just by watching. So just to go back to the point of, I just love learning. I always say, angifuni khulula yinto lengakhulumi. So having jumped into this career, I then realized it's not enough to be passionate or interested in it. You need to know. Like anything you are doing, you need to have that desire to upskill yourself and learn something. So that's what happened. And I found myself taking courses for digital marketing. That was the first one, because I was now dabbling within social media marketing and management. So I'm starting out as a blogger and then transitioning into social media management. So I had to learn and had to teach myself.
It's different.
Completely.
Do you go for free or paid courses? Is there any different? Both. So you're investing in this.
You need to invest in yourself. Like the free ones are nice. I mean, if the money, it's okay. But if you can afford to pay for something that is providing a lot of value, I think please do it.
Okay.
Yeah, the paid one I did was with UCT and Get Smarter. I don't know if you've seen those ads online. They're always popping up. But it's like a...
They know their niche. The algorithm knows. They don't pop up to me.
Yeah?
They know their niche. Get Smarter.
Yeah, it's
like maybe I don't pay
with
attention.
edX. It's like a higher
with TEDx.
edX.
edX.
It's like a higher learning online platform.
Me, I know Coursera, Udemy, and
it's along those lines.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was like 10K for 3 months, and you had a lecturer and you had exams and
10K
tests.
for 3 months. Where
Yeah.
did you get the money to pay for the course?
From my 8 to 5.
From your 8 to 5. So you set your priorities straight. I like this thing. I want to do this thing.
I want to invest in this thing.
Okay. And how did you, because we do things from passion, we think we like them, we think we're good at them, and then when you take a course you also get exposed to the technical side of things. Did you continue to like it and enjoy it, or
Obsessed with it.
Like,
I can't imagine my life without marketing now. And
what is marketing these days? We see, and we're always like, everybody wishes to be in the marketing department, and we see them taking reels and playing. Is that marketing?
it is a type of marketing.
Okay.
So marketing is basically different avenues and channels and strategies that you deploy in order to promote a brand, a product, a service.
Okay.
The purpose of marketing at the top of it is awareness. There's like this whole layer of awareness, consideration, and then making a sale. But where I see a lot of people confusing marketing is that they think it's sales, and it's not. So you'll get a client who says, I want X amount of sales, come do my marketing. And then after a month, they're like, I'm not getting sales.
I'm
and
not
like,
converting.
I'm not sales. Like, I'm supposed to help tell the story that drives the sales.
Brand awareness, is that what it is?
At the top of it, brand awareness. That is what marketing is.
Doesn't guarantee that it's going to convert. Do you think it's important?
It has to eventually, but
yeah.
It's a
I
process.
guess
It's a process.
You dabble with a lot of things in a business, you know. Do you think every business is supposed to invest in marketing like that?
Yeah, like someone said something the other day, and it's like slipping my mind now. They said without marketing, it's like opening a business and not telling anyone about it. Like, how are we supposed to find you? How should we know who you are, what your story is? How should we know what problem you solve? And that's the biggest part about marketing. It showcases a problem that particular target audience or client has, and then presents the product and service as a solution to that. Yeah, so every business needs to invest in marketing, but I do understand really when the business is starting out, you won't always have the funds to pay for marketing. But which is why I'm absolutely passionate about social media marketing, because it's leveled the advertising playing field. Like back in the day, you had to pay thousands for like a TV ad or like a radio ad or print. Print is expensive. And then now digital is like, here's this platform with 1 billion people on it, because you're not just exposed to the Eswatini context. You're exposed to the whole world. So here's this nice platform. And then if you want to put some money behind it, $100 or so. So it becomes very entry level and easy. So if there's a business that's not investing in their marketing right now, I don't know how it's thriving.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is what a marketer different from what a digital strategist does? Is it different?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really. A digital strategist is just a part of the marketing model conundrum. It's just someone who ideates and comes up with the solutions of how we could best promote this. Yeah.
Okay.
So they like the brains. They're not really the engine. The designers and all these copywriters and all those people are the engine. They keep it running. But the strategist is just like the vision and the direction and the data. And,
yeah. All right. Do you feel like you're always creative as a creative? Yeah?
All the time.
You mentioned that you've done copywriting as well. I think we're having a chat, you and I. Do you know what? I always feel like if I had spare time, I would do that, because one thing I enjoy the most is so funny. When I visit South Africa, there's nothing I enjoy more than looking at the billboards.
I love South Africa's
billboards. They're so creative
billboards.
with their marketing, right? Oh my!
And they push boundaries, and it's just so engaging. Yeah.
So you also do copywriting?
Yes. I haven't done it in like a year now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to move away from it because as someone who loves writing as like a leisurely thing, copywriting can become very restrictive because you have a brief and it's a product and there's rules to play around, and like copywriting has its structures and...
Oh, really? Is it?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we just see 3 words in a billboard. There were structures.
Yeah, those 3 words are designed to capture your attention. copywriting uses something called a hook. The first thing you see on an ad should immediately go, aha. It should either make you laugh, cry, think, consider. But within those 3 words, and from what I know, a headline shouldn't be more than 8 words.
Yep.
If you're saying more than 8 words, you're saying too much now. So capture people's attention in such a short amount of characters. So it needs someone who's very quirky, witty, who can think. Yeah. So creativity plays a huge part in copywriting.
It can feel like a lot of pressure, isn't it? Yeah. And is there anything that you've noticed being in the marketing landscape, maybe in terms of how the market responds that you're trying to target? Are there any struggles, challenges in that field?
Any struggles? I don't know if I would call it a struggle, but I feel like we haven't really tapped our marketing potential locally.
Yeah.
I feel like we're trying to get there, but we're still playing it safe. Maybe that would be the challenge.
Okay.
I've noticed that a lot of brands play it safe. And I always make an example of Nando's. They sell chicken. They shouldn't be this funny, but they are. And that is how they've been able to market their brand personality. And I feel like a lot of brands in Eswatini aren't bringing out their personality in the marketing. It's literally, get this live cover, buy these pair of shoes, and it's just not knocking, it's not landing. And yeah, I think that's the one challenge I've noticed. But in terms of like us as the audience, we are hungry for that marketing that's insane. Like, it's like what you're saying, you love going to SA and just admiring the billboards. Why don't we have that here? Why are we playing it safe?
100%. 100%. Yeah, okay. All right. Let us move on. You've partnered with like legit big brands locally, MTNs they're big. Yes, you know. Yeah. How did you find yourself partnering with those brands, and how was the journey for you? What were the learnings? Were you scared?
Yes.
Did you think you would deliver, and did you deliver?
I believe I delivered.
Yeah?
I had a lot of imposter syndrome when I first started. It was with MTN. So I'm coming from a self-taught, self-schooled background. And yes, now I have these certifications in marketing and I know a thing or two, but it's just like, what makes you think you can do this?
Yeah.
But the great part is when it comes to MTN, which was the first major big brand that I worked with, and it was within an agency. It was my first major marketing job. It was with TBWA Yati. And for me, that's an agency I'd been eyeing ever since I realized this is a career I want. I want to be in digital. So I had applied a couple of times. There were so many job posts I'd seen and I just wasn't getting it. And then there was this one for copywriting. And I was like, okay, cool. Let me send in my CV. They called me for an interview. They gave me a script and a brief and I had to write something, and then you got the job, girl. Let's go. You're going to be working with MTN, strictly MTN. I cried because I'm like, it was fun until it became real.
Yeah.
Now I actually have to work. But going into that space and working with a brand like MTN, not just MTN Eswatini, MTN is a phenomenal brand. Like, it's one of the biggest brands in Africa. They have their footprint everywhere. So as much as there was that imposter syndrome, it also exposed me to global level of marketing, global expectation of marketing. It's not just about the Swazi context and stuff like that. And yeah, that was an amazing experience. And then after 3 years of working with MTN, that's when I transitioned out of my full-time job and went into what I'm doing now, which is mostly freelance. And it's how I landed a gig with Standard Bank. And I'd love to say Standard Bank actually went out looking for me.
Yeah.
I'd love to say that, but it's not the case.
How do they know about... Oh, they didn't look for you.
No.
You look for them.
Not even. A lot of things are... I think a big part of work and building a career is your social capital. And the AE on the Standard Bank account for that particular agency happened to be... It's an account exec. It's like the bridge between the agency team and the client.
Okay.
So whatever client wants, they communicate with AE. AE goes back and says, guys, we need type thing. So the AE had been the AE at MTN when I was starting out there. So we had a very good relationship and she knew my work. So when they were looking for someone for that digital strategist role, she was like, Dem is available and she can work with us. So a big part of this whole landscape in Eswatini or finding a job or anything is about social capital at the end of the day. And I know it sounds a bit weird because it sounds like Kunema favorites and
I know.
No, but just make an impression. Just make an impression.
You know, I just want to like ask you how you feel about that, because whenever people ask me about how I ended up being a remote worker, they're always, how did you know about this thing? How did you find it? And for me, it's always, there's a bit of guilt and just not feeling good enough after saying, because it was through relationships, as you say. And then I just feel like maybe I'm not competent enough in Javeda because I've been referred. But between my first job and my second job, they were all referrals, literally. Have you ever felt like maybe I'm not worthy of this opportunity? No,
this opportunity is mine.
Yes.
No, but for someone to refer you, they have to believe in you. And you should have proven at some point that you can deliver. So that's what I always tell myself. It is easy to be like, oh, I didn't go through the whole process like everyone else. Some things are luck. But other things are then, what have you done to meet the luck halfway? Like, is your name worth mentioning when there's an opportunity type thing? So, no.
And it's preparation. You were preparing, you were investing in it. And I do think so, because even the people that have referred me, I walked up to them to talk to them. I made an impression. I asked good questions. And whenever there was an opportunity to deliver, I delivered. Just funny thing is, I was having a review just yesterday and my manager was saying to me, I'm glad that you joined our team. You've made such a massive contribution here. And I'm glad that our boss picked up on that when they met you, you know. So like you say, there is luck, but what have you done to meet that luck halfway?
Preparation is very important. Always make an impression. When you get into a room, make sure they remember you when you leave. That's like my number one thing. Yeah.
Love it. And do you feel like you've made an impression with all of your previous works?
I think they miss me a lot. I'm joking. I think I have. I believe I'm easy to work with.
Wow.
Mostly because I'm eager to work and eager to learn. If I don't know anything, I will ask until I know. Like, I don't do half of anything.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think so. If they're watching, I hope so.
I love that. And I love it when people can speak with their chest about that, say those kinds of things. And when you put in the work, you know you're putting in the hours.
Yes.
And sometimes you get confidence from that. And even if maybe what you delivered they're not happy about, but when you can go to bed knowing that, oh, I fucked in the hours for this, you know, that's good. That's a really good place to be in. And, you know, I noticed that on one of your posts on LinkedIn, you manifested in 2025 that you want more public speaking opportunities. Why specifically public speaking? And here we are. You manifested us, girl. The universe is working, clearly. Yeah?
It's just, I think it's an untapped side of my personality and skills that I haven't really used. I've used it in work. Like when you have to present a report and every time I do that, people would be like, oh, you're so well spoken. And I'm like,
you are, girl.
Thank you. So I'm like, maybe I should dabble in that. But also I'm trying to transition my brand. I started out as Miss Copywriter turned social media manager or both at the time. And then moving into strategy now, I'm trying to move away from the management of social media. So one of those transitions is also moving away from just being behind the desk too much. I want to now share what I've learned behind the desk. So yeah, I didn't have a vision board per se this year. My vision board has been Pinterest. I've got a board on Pinterest which is called My Dream Life for 2025, and I put all these different things. And
how many things have you achieved so far?
80%.
Vision boards are good because you're like, you get your reward system in check because you're like, oh, look, and if you don't track these things, you never know and you never celebrate them.
Yes, I was about to say, it's more than just the vision boarding and visualizing. You have to have a system for tracking as well, for holding yourself accountable, for making sure that you actually do the work. Because a lot of people think, I want to be rich, and then they just leave it at that. It's like, what are you actually doing to become rich? Yes, the mindset is there. You've accepted that you're rich, which is why you want it. But how are you calling it in? How are you working towards that? So,
and well, I did listen to your sit down session where you had Pilar Dlamini with the platform, and you do mention that you're introverted as well.
Extremely.
Yeah, but it doesn't show. It literally doesn't show.
I hide it so well.
Yeah, and you've been invited by bake cake by a certain cake baking by a certain, and you were speaking there. How is that journey for you now, being in front of the camera and sharing what you've learned over there? Scary.
Absolutely scary. I wrote about it a while ago. I'm like, I want to be visible because this is the direction I want to go, but it does come with a bit of discomfort. But once the camera starts rolling and it's let's go, let's start talking, it becomes easier because I know the end goal. But I am an introvert, but I think I'm an ambivert because selectively there are moments and people where I'm extroverted with, but I need to get very comfortable first.
Yeah.
But my natural state is introverted.
I think you've become an authority in your industry or in your field. And even if you're introverted or shy, experience, because now you're speaking with confidence, you're speaking from things you've done. So it really becomes much more easier to be in front of the camera and speak. The hardest thing is to make up things. When you have to make up things, like for me, I didn't study psychology. But the fact that I cared about mental health and wellness and self-development, it's lived experiences for me. It's you could wake me up at 2 a.m. and I'll have something to talk about it. I'll have something to say about it, and I observe quite a lot. I spend a lot of time thinking about life, reflecting. So even if I'm not spending a lot of hours reading and sometimes listening to podcasts, because there's a lot of things that get in the way of life, but because I am an observer and I spend a lot of time reflecting, I'll always have something to say about it.
I think we have that in common.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm also an observer.
Well, they do say that introverts do spend a lot of time observing.
We analyze, we see everything.
Yeah, but touching on wellness a little bit, how has it been for you being a hard worker? Because one thing about being a hard worker, it affects your mental health a lot and your wellness and your work-life balance. So how has it been for you trying to deliver and really work hard and at the same time keep your mental state at par?
Challenging, for the most part. I believe I've got a handle on it now, but I've gone through periods of cycles of burnout because not only am I a hard worker, I'm also a team player. So sometimes being a team player, you're pulling so much weight because you don't want to let the team down, and then you forget yourself. And it has affected me in a way where I'm sleep deprived or I'm just stressed. I'm going to the hospital and asking for like days off because I'm not grand and right? Like it's been so hard. And I love wellness so much. I'm also a wellness person, but it gets tough fighting between let me be a wellness queen and let me get this money. So I've had to really build routines and find outlets where I can relax. I've had to build boundaries with myself. I've had to learn how to say no, which has been so hard. No is such a hard thing to say. I'm such a yes, I can do it. You need this? When? Tomorrow? Sure.
And knowing what to say no to, eh?
Exactly. Yes, actually. So part of my wellness routine now has been learning to say no and saying it kindly and not like, no, like, at this moment, I cannot afford to take this on, but please consider me like 2 months from now. Just putting myself first and also just being mindful of...
Thank you for coming here, for prioritizing this. Yeah.
You're welcome. And just learning to sleep. The thing with being a creative, the brain is always on sometimes and just building those structures where wellness is a priority. But it has been hard. There's a very thin line between being an overachiever, hard worker, ambitious person, and just finding that balance.
No.
Do you know personality types, like both type A and type B, C, D?
Yeah, I've heard, because I've done 4 Idiots and all those things. And
I need to read that.
I've done a lot of personality tests as well. Have you ever done a personality test?
I do them all the time.
You do them all the time. What are some of the things that you can share that come out about yourself that have helped you to be more self-aware?
So there's this test. I've just forgotten what it's called. The one that has the INFJ and the IEN. It shows you're an introvert and something else. So every time I do those tests, it's always IN something. And it says I'm a diplomat or something, a mediator, I've forgotten. But then there's the type A, B, C thing that has really made me so self-aware. Type A is mostly the ambitious, independent, let's go. Type B is let's go with the wind. Type C is let's analyze. And taking those tests and realizing I'm a bit of type C and A, but mostly C, because I sit and I analyze things and I go over things over and over again. Like attention to detail is something like I pride myself in. But I'm also fighting that type A that's probably like 5%, and it's like, need to do this now, you need to work. But knowing and being aware of who you are also allows you to know how to step back from the toxic side of who you are when it's necessary, because it's great to be ambitious.
Do you know your toxic side or your weaknesses?
Yes. Do you want me to expose myself?
I mean, this is a safe space.
Okay. My weaknesses are that I am very independent.
Okay. You will burn out, my girl.
Extremely, which is why I've been burning out. But I'm learning to work within a team. I work well within a team, but my toxicity is that I notice where the team is lagging. I'm like, you're not working fast enough. Yeah. Let me just do it myself because I can. But I'm learning to be aware of that and accept help. Yeah. So that's like my number one toxic trait. Very hyper independent.
Yep. And I'm also curious, I've been having interactions with our peers quite a lot, and I noticed that some of the things that I get to experience is anxiety. Have you ever experienced anxiety, or have you had moments where you have like negative thoughts?
Yes.
Or like what would be some of the things that you say to yourself, or questions that you have that when you're down, out and tired?
Questions to myself about the things I'm feeling anxious about, or like how to get
about
myself
or
out.
the world, or anything.
So most of my anxiety is around two things. It's around my potential and my family. I'm very big on stability. I love predictability in life. I like routine. I like just stable ground. So family it just stresses me out sometimes, because I'm the circle of life, I guess. I worry that not everyone will always be there, and not in an emotional way, but like physically here on earth, like alive. And the family type anxiety thoughts started during the COVID era. My mom is a frontline worker. She's a nurse, so she was heavily exposed to the virus. My dad sadly passed away from it. And he wasn't even sick for long. I think that's where the anxiety really popped off. Because you're talking to someone, he's like, I'm going to the hospital now, I don't feel well. The next phone call is, I've been admitted, they're running tests. The next one is, I've got COVID, but I'll be okay. And then radio silence.
I'm sorry.
Type thing. It's okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so... yeah, after that, I realized life is so fickle. I'm like, what do you mean 3 days and now this person is not here? So I have been trying to work through that. I did seek medical help for it, just talking to someone about it. But the thoughts are constantly, who's next?
Aww.
Yeah, so I don't like how unpredictable life is. I don't like it. No, that's the one glitch in the matrix I don't like. And then the other one is, am I living up to my fullest potential? And if not, what's lacking? How can I be better? So it's always just a ping pong between, my stability is threatened by life, and where am I going? Am I on track? And I think it's something a lot of us do battle with. Maybe some people haven't been able to pinpoint that it is anxiety, but yeah.
And what do you say back to yourself to get from that?
I go outside. I don't say anything. I'm a nature baby. Once I start feeling like my energy is just going low, let's go outside. Let's get some sun.
Have you been able to track when your energy goes low the most? Like, is it at night? For some people, it's 2 a.m. They can't sleep.
Really?
Yeah. 2 a.m. It's like...
For me, it is at night. Like, just before bed. Like, when the world is quiet. You know, like, during the day, you can distract yourself and life is busy. Once you're on your own at night and it's just like, oh, it's me and my brain. And the brain is like, remember that thing that we're stressing about? So it's just before bed. But that's why I'm trying not to consume negative content before bed, because my imagination as a creative is crazy. I will dream of that scenario and then now I'm thinking about it all day and now it's just weighing me down. And
thank you so much for sharing that and being vulnerable here. And I think for me, it happens sometimes at night before bed, and it's really quiet at that time. And then I can hear maybe, I don't know, whatever animals that are outside, because it's so quiet. And then it just gets scary for me. And I don't know why. Most of the time I'll think of hospitals and they terrify me. I think it's one of the things I'm scared of, hospitals. And I start thinking about, oh, what if I'd get terminally ill? What if I'd lose my mother? And what if I'd lose my job? And it's just all of that.
These negative thoughts.
Those negative thoughts just keep on creeping in. So thank you so much for sharing that. And I had a question in my mind, but it's slipping away. What's one thing that you'd like to say to me while I'm bringing my thought back? What would you want to randomly say to me or any person right now?
What would I want to say? I'd actually want to ask a question.
Okay.
Since we're talking about this whole anxiety, wellness things and all of that, do you have a feel-good playlist? Like, do you even listen to music like that?
I do.
Okay.
I do. I have my long distance friendship playlist. So when I think of my friend or I miss her, and sometimes because I know the type of music she listens to, I come across a song and I'll just add it on that playlist.
Oh, sweet.
We've been apart for like 5 years. We still speak. We still make time. She's in the UK. We still make time to have calls and just really bond over the phone and just be like, one day we're gonna see each other. So I have a playlist for that. I actually have a feel sad playlist.
Really?
I don't have a happy playlist. I have a feel sad playlist. I have a slows and research playlist, because I think I'm a very pessimistic person in general, but I don't know. I think I'm negatively
I'm in my
motivated.
enemy's territory.
And I've been seeing a lot of posts about people who are like, I don't like being around negative people, even when you tell them positive things.
Cut. Then, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
I'm like that. More especially, I think I thrive towards negative people so that I can be positive and help them look towards the positive side. But if you are, because I feel like sometimes people are delusionally positive.
I am delusional. I am the definition of delulu.
I'll be the one helping you to see, Uguti, maybe you're too positive. Have you thought about 1, 2, and 3? But I can be very positive and I can say positive things to myself. Maybe good. I just like to feel like I'm aware. I like to be at a place where
realistic.
Yeah,
like let's just be realistic of the situation.
That's the place that I like to operate from. So I have a feel sad playlist. I have a Wagwan playlist. So
what is that?
Yeah, you have to be jamming. If you do you listen to reggae?
Not really. The closest to reggae I've gotten in my life is Bob Marley.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Love him down. Yeah.
Okay. So I listen to reggae. I have I have Zim music playlist. I love their music. I have
Some music is mostly like dance hall-ish.
It is dance hall-ish, and I love twerking. So dance hall music is
If I could exist as a twerk, I'd be a twerk.
I mean, exactly. And Afro beats, I listen to Afro beats. Yes.
Same.
So I'm such a music person. The one thing that I would struggle with the most was gospel music, but you know, we have contemporary worship songs music, and I'm slowly trying to get into that. I'm trying, but yeah, I do listen to music.
At least you have playlists.
There
are people who don't even listen to music at all.
I think when you get older, it becomes harder to catch up on a lot of things, movies, series, music. So you have to be, most of the time I have to be conscious about, Claudia, listen to music.
Like do this.
This week I was listening to Bolocha.
Love him down. Oh my gosh, I love Bolocha.
I know, right? And his music is just classic. I feel like it would never get old. Whenever you listen to it, it will always be
and it's just relevant. Such a unique sound.
Like, it's just him. And the fact that he was singing in Siswati,
exactly.
It's he sings in Siswati. I think that's phenomenal. I love his music as well. So yeah, I'm one person that you could literally spend time with listening to music. I listen to rap. There's this thing, grill. What about English grill?
Drill.
We're gonna go bam for bam.
I love it.
M for M. Yes, I listen to Central C. Yes, that is me. So yeah, thanks for asking that. It was actually a good question, and I appreciate music. It's something that I listened a lot to during when I was struggling with mental health. So at the time I was listening to NF, really, really sad music, and I think it helped me to feel. I was listening to rock as well, rock, stylish, Calio, lots of white people. White people are really a good place if you're depressed, because their music.
My go-to is Janae. That album, I don't know the specific album. This is where I fail the music community. I don't really listen to albums like that.
Yeah, me too.
But I think it's the one that had Spotless Mind and Ways. Ways got me through
Janae
depression.
Akko.
Yeah. Ways, why aren't you smiling? Oh my gosh, that song, every time I'm feeling a bit down, I put it on and I'm like, why aren't I smiling? Let's go.
Yeah. But you see, the thing with depression music is that for some reason it uplifts you. Like, okay, you're singing about sad things and stuff, but now I feel, or maybe it's the fact that they've experienced it, so it's relatable. And
I think it's the relatability. Like, I feel seen. I feel like my story is represented here.
Yeah. 100%. Oh, that's nice. And I think it's the same as well when you're talking about marketing, that it speaks to the problem that of the customer, and then you're presenting the solution. So at the end of the day, everything starts from relationships and relatability.
Yes,
I guess. So you must always make sure that you're relatable to the people that you're targeting. And back to marketing and the likes, what do you think now young creatives creeping into the industry would need help with? What can Eswatini do? What can the people that are holding the keys, the money, the opportunities do to assist them?
Okay. So I'll start with the creatives themselves, the ones who are building the products that they are putting out there. Please take yourself seriously, because no one else will. I've had the privilege on working with influencers on influencer marketing campaigns, and sometimes you'll receive someone's quotation and it's on a Word document. It's not even PDF. There is no form of like signature branding. It's just a table on Word doc. And it's not to call people out, but for me, it's like, you don't see yourself as a big brand.
But how do they know
that they're a big brand?
No, that they have to invoice. It must be in a PDF format and a letterhead, maybe.
That's where you need to upskill yourself. I feel like whatever you are doing, learn the craft. Like, learn how to present yourself as the best within that industry. And the person who started invoicing, I didn't know they had to have it on a letterhead, but they went and they started researching and they found out what's in my letterheads. And it's just professionalize your creativeness, like professionalize your brand. I'm not saying come up with a logo or anything, but just the way you present yourself. From that first quotation you are sending me, I can already tell the type of person I'm working with, even without meeting you. So I think with them, yes, you are talented, and there's so many amazing people in this country. Absolutely love local talent, but just take yourself seriously in how you present yourself. Ask yourself, how do I want people to see me, and then show up that way. And then also, I think as creatives, Swaziland is a very blank canvas, and I say this all the time. Like, everything is 10 years behind. And I used to hate that growing up, but now I see it as, if you are not pioneering, you're not gonna make a mark. This is literally a blank canvas. You can decide what to do with it. Maybe there's a few, challenges and roadblocks here that we might have to mitigate, but it's a blank canvas. Set the standard, set the bar. So don't come into the industry or the landscape with we aren't being supported, but how can I, with what I have right now, make a mark? And then which doors do I need to knock on to make a bigger mark? And then when it comes to like the people who are holding the keys, please let creatives thrive. Like, creativity is something that is so underlooked in Eswatini. We see it as a hobby, a by the way, even to the point where as a creative, you send a quotation for work that a brand wants you to do, and they ask you, why are you so expensive? And there's so much that goes into creating a body of work, not just influencers or musicians, or maybe someone has asked you to create a jingle for a radio show, and they say, why are you so... It's like that little song that plays before a show
do that
starts.
As well?
No.
Okay.
No.
But I get where you're coming from. Okay.
Type thing.
Yeah.
And then they receive that quotation and they like, this is too expensive. Or just to write a song. Like, there's so much thought that goes into writing a song, to like recording it, finding the talent to sing the jingle, and just take creatives seriously. And then provide creators with the platforms and the opportunities for them to actually monetize what they're doing. Yeah.
And on that, I was thinking about it because I'm slowly becoming aware of it, that initially when I started working in this podcast and on this podcast, is for me, it was just delivering the message about mental health and wellness. But as time goes by, I'm realizing, but I'm also a creative. I'm in the creative space. And I'm like, okay, what does the market need? What does the country need? Am I aligned with it? Am I palatable, if that's the word, for the audience?
Big English.
Yeah, you gotta from time to time. Fanny Pila said, people come with their big words. Yes, but you gotta drop from there.
They must know that you know.
It's show, guys. Now, so and while at it, I was like, are there enough workshops to make sure we're on the same page in the country when it comes to that, I think that is something that, because for an example, when the government needs architects and accountants, there's universities, right? They do that. And now the podcast is more of a new thing and in the freelance-ish thing, and we need support, I think, from that front, so that we're palatable, so that we're aligned with what they want, even in the way that we present it, know. So for me, I think that's been one area. But of course, we do have platforms like Unilogo is supporting creatives very much, I'm not gonna lie, and other platforms, and currently Guna Link Up. Can you tell us a little bit more about the Link Up?
Oh, my Shayla. So the Link Up is a connector platform. It's meant to bridge the gap between content creators and brands. So content creators and influencers are content creators, but content creators is like the umbrella for everything. So whatever content you're creating, we are here to support you. And then we want to also put you in the same rooms as the brands, because they bring the money. And the link up is very big on networking, going back to the whole social capital thing. Everything is about who do you know, who did you make an impression on, who did you walk up to and say, hi, I do this. Is there an opportunity for us to collaborate? It's basically just a collaboration house for these two different entities that actually need each other within the marketing space. I love that a lot of Swazi brands are jumping onto the whole using my content creators and their ads and their campaigns. You see Bokoko and Sloane from time to time. You see Zinzi. I saw what's this thing? This Pick and Pay thing.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
yes.
like
Timak Bubbles. Yes.
Yes, like Eswatini tourism uses influencers a lot. I love that brands are jumping onto that because it's one thing for you to push out a message as the business and say, I am better than X business, come buy from me. But now it's different when it's endorsed by someone else, someone with their own audience, someone who that audience gravitates towards, probably buys anything that they say, believes in them, engages with them. And I absolutely love that so much. Yeah. So the link up was like, let's do that. Let's connect people together because the brands are already looking for the talent and the talent is looking for the money because at the end of the day, we can't run away from, yes, people are passionate about being on TikTok and doing dance challenges and telling us jokes, but at the end of the day is how can I monetize this? At some point it has to move away from look at me, I'm doing amazing, to how can I build a business, a creative business out of this thing that I love? So the link up is all about that, but we are also about upskilling and like skills training because it's what you're saying. Are there enough workshops where people are learning? And I think this is where I put my little biasness in the platform because I'm such a learner. Like let's learn, let's equip ourselves. So the link up is also about that as well.
Okay. All right. So where do people learn? Where do you teach them? And where do you connect them with the
brands?
Yeah.
They must come to our experiences. So we had our mixer, which was our launch back in April. And we got a room full about 38 people mixed up of Emma creatives, not just content creators, and a few brand representatives, and everyone got to mingle and, you know, hang out. And we like doing it in a very chilled environment. We have structures around networking. We've got something called speed networking. I don't know if you've heard of speed dating, where you have a short amount of time to sit down, you get to know your date, the timer goes off, you move on to the next one. So same thing like that. And what we're trying to teach the creatives is how to have an elevator pitch.
Okay.
Within 3 minutes, can you sell who you are? Who are you? Like, why should someone remember you?
Yeah.
So we have that. It's such a key part of our events. We also have a community, like a nice group where
Where's the group?
It's on WhatsApp at the moment. But we are looking to move it more into digital. I won't expose what we're working on, but everything is digital these days. So we're trying to create a very nice hub for the community. And then we have our social media pages, and shame, our community is engaged. There are some people who have been there from jump and they believe in the vision, and it's just very amazing. But we try to make sure that we are having a lot of experiences and events. Some of them are free. Some of them won't be. But yeah.
You guys have a podcast.
Yes.
Where
we
is it
recently
at?
started this podcast. It's a YouTube podcast. We will be migrating it to Spotify eventually, but at the moment we're just piloting it on YouTube, and it's through the support of the American Corner, which is a section within a few libraries in Eswatini, just 2 at the moment, where it's a free space for creatives, entrepreneurs to utilize the space for learning, studying, whatever they want to do, free of charge. And they recently opened up a studio as well. So that is where the home of the Link Up podcast is at the moment. And the podcast is an extension of the work we already do. We want to continue the sharing the knowledge and sharing the stories, exposing people to the talent that is out there.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that as well. And I think we're coming to the end of our session, guys. How much time do I have? Because, okay.
Did you say 5 minutes?
Oh. Imagine.
Hey, strict.
All right. Yo, guys. All right. Temnotfo, it's been quite a pleasure. I enjoyed every minute of this.
Same.
Yeah, and I truly appreciate your time again and all that you are doing. People like you are bringing the country, are moving the country with the times when it comes to digital marketing, which is something that we really need. And also, the link up is definitely what we need, what creatives need as well. So we can only hope and wish that it grows and grows and grows, and it leaves the mark that it's meant to leave. And are there any like final remarks that you'd like to share with the audience? Anything?
So the link up is planning a picnic soon. You know, we getting out of winter. I absolutely hate winter. Everyone who says they like winter are my op. You hate me in life.
She knows her ops, eh? Yeah.
So springtime is coming, and springtime is all about just being out in the sun, like enjoying good food, good vibes. And we just want to network now in a very serene, calm setting, and also just wanting to promote wellness. So please be on the lookout for that. Follow us on our socials to keep up with all of the stories surrounding the picnic that is happening. We did release the date as the 6th of September. We're busy that week. So if you're gonna be outside, please be outside with us is all I can say. And also please join the community. If you go onto our socials, there are so many links there. Click a link, find a place where you fall into, especially now where we've rolled out an affiliate program. So you can earn some chankuras for helping some brands tell a few stories. So please follow us. Just follow the link up. And also, I just want to say thank you, Claudia, for creating a platform like this, where you can share the stories of people who are doing amazing things. I think your previous guest was Zox.
Yes.
And what a Peculiar People is doing is insane. Absolutely love it. And also a platform where we can talk about wellness and mental health, especially in an era like this. I feel like siyakowisha, we are at terminal A sonke, but what are we doing about it? And your platform is one of the places where it's like, this is what we're doing about it. We're breaking the stigma by having conversations. So thank you. It's a great platform. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you. I'm humbled. I appreciate it. All right. Temnotfo, just before we wrap up, we'd like to ask you just 3 final questions. And the first one is, if you could put up a billboard in the heart of Eswatini with a message for all creatives and dreamers, what would it say?
Oh my gosh, on the spot.
Yeah. Yeah, Miss Copywriter.
It would literally say the time is now.
Wow. Okay.
Why? Yeah, the time is now. It's either now or never. If you've got something that the world needs to see, the time is now. This has never been a better time to put yourself out there. If we look at the story of Uncle Waffles, she put herself out there. Someone posted a video. The time is now. Don't hide your talent.
Who do you think is putting themselves out in a way that you're just like watching and you're like, oh yeah.
Locally.
Yeah.
Lulega.
Yeah.
Lulega. And she is such a hard worker.
Yeah.
And she's got such an authentic spirit and voice. Who else? In the music scene, I'm seeing Grizzly because I love music. Grizzly is doing amazing things. Original, doing amazing things. That is someone who understands the assignment of the time is now.
Yeah.
Like, grab these opportunities now. But yeah, those 3, absolutely. Oh, and you.
Oh,
was this a trick question? I joke.
Very smart, eh? Thank you so much. All right. If you could have dinner with any person living or historical, who would you choose and what question would you ask them?
Someone just said Adolf Hitler. Shonda Rhimes. She's the... Have you ever watched Grey's Anatomy? Have you ever watched Scandal? I think... Did she also do How to Get Away with Murder?
I did watch How to Get Away.
Yeah, she's like the brains of... I don't know if she's with CBS or one of these. She's a great writer. Okay. So she did Grey's Anatomy, that hospital drama. I'd ask her, how do you stay writing? Because a big issue writers have is writer's block. So how do you stay writing, and how do you come up with banger after banger after banger? Because, wow, especially as a Black woman as well. So
Okay.
it would be Shonda Rhimes.
Okay, Shonda Rhimes, shout out to you. The girl has a question. Please make sure to do the things that needs to be done.
Drop it in the comments.
Yeah. Okay. And what is your pet peeve and your turn on?
Pet peeve, litter.
Yo.
Don't dirty the environment.
Yo.
No, man. Like, is the plastic an atomic bomb? Is it gonna go off now? Like, just hold on to it, find a trash can, do better.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, the number of times I've wanted to tell people to stop littering and then I realized batang shaya. So let me just calm down. And then my turn on is intelligence. Like, smart conversation. Like, tell me something I don't know.
Did I turn you on today?
I think you did.
Ah.
We types.
Yes, love it. All right, that is it, and thank you so much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in once again. And if you made it this far in this episode, kudos to you. I'm confident that you've learned a lot today, and if what we're talking about today is definitely worth sharing with your children, with your siblings, with your friends, so please do make sure to share this episode. And also, I think from everything that you've learned today, if you struggle with procrastination, if you're not sure what to do, you've definitely gathered that this is the time to shine. This is the time to let yourself out there, because imagine slipping on this opportunity where things are picking off and they are close to climax, and then you want to join the ship 10 years down the line. That is when you'll definitely be the laughing stock. So this is the time. Step up right now. And as you know, we usually end our episodes with a quote. And today's quote is, as Pablo Picasso once said, the meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away. So find your gift. Give it away. Be generous. Do the philanthropic work. And that is it today from us with Temnotfo Mvubu. Make sure to follow her on her social media platforms. She's really big there by LinkedIn. So I think you could learn a lot from her. And do make sure to follow the link up that are doing this amazing movement in Eswatini. And make sure to follow Claudia Bohana on her social media platforms, the TFE network. Do make sure to drop a comment and just type, I liked this episode. We'd really appreciate that. Otherwise, we're looking forward to tuning in again. Please do share with us some of the things that you like to hear or anyone that you like to see from Real Talk with Claudia. Otherwise, see you soon. With love.